Good morning, good morning. It's really lovely to be with you. We're not on coffee this morning. We're on gorgeous herbal tea. And because I've had my coffee already. So I hope this finds you okay. I'm just going to sip this while we chat. I thought I would just pop on. I want to say some thank yous to you and to some people in particular who've sent some amazing things. And I was just going through the comments, so I thought I would kind of answer one or two questions and respond to a couple of comments, and just tell you about some things we've got coming up. We've got a lot of plans for the next 5 years, actually. So I'm not going to give you a 5-year plan. That's secret stuff, that you work on and change as you go. But it's really good to be on the ground and know where you are, and then have an idea of where the way things are at the moment could take you. I'm not one person to kind of set a goal and then say, I have to get there. What I do is I look at the possibility, and then with each baby step forward, it may lead in that direction. That goal that we kind of create in the back of our heads, may be a product of our conditioning or our kind of, more unconscious inner child stuff that we haven't quite worked out yet, or it can be sort of, karmic inheritance sort of stuff. So I find that baby stepping along the way is a really nice way, and you can keep just allowing it to be an adventure as it takes you forward, Anyway, I just want to say how grateful I am to each and every one of you, and you know that, of course. And I'm also so grateful to you because, when we meet like this once a month or so, I do one of these videos. It's really you and it's really me, and there's so much out there that is just kind of loaded up with other stuff, and that's just where people are, But I'm just drawn towards people who really try and understand not just what a word like integrity means in terms of like they just use it as a symbol, but actually kind of are reflecting on that for themselves and trying to understand what it really means, because we use words as a symbol so often. Even my own business is called Authentic Living, and it's really easy just to say I'm being authentic when you haven't dealt with your stuff, anything but deal with our stuff. and so I know that these videos and the work that we do, it's for a very specific audience, a very specific kind of person, and that makes me so happy in a way. And it's not that no one else is welcome, it's that here we are, everybody's welcome. It's just, it's up to them when they turn up for things. Not that you have to come to me in any way, actually. So yeah, just great gratitude for you. I enjoyed doing the last video so much, actually, and I loved your responses, so thank you for that. Let me show you some things as well, because people have been writing to me, which is amazing. I just find that absolutely gorgeous. We got a PO box again. We used to have a PO box in the past, and we got a PO box again towards the end of last year, and now lovely things are kind of moving. And I'm trying to move away from email, because if you think about it, I love to be in touch with people, but the level of emails that you get when you do whatever this is, there's no time left for you as a human being. You could just eat yourself alive trying to keep up with emails, and I really want to be in proper connection with people. So I thought to myself, well, if anybody genuinely wants to correspond, then I can send a nice card back, or just say thank you, or a little response or something like that. And slowly over time, I'm going to move create a space within the website where we could just gather once in a while and have all those questions, So if you send me a mail or something, I'll say, well, come to this next gathering, and we'll meet that question. To be a much nicer way to do it, you know, because I like this way of working. Anyway, the post. So I've got this beautiful letter from Drew. I won't tell you anything about what's in there. And thank you, Drew. You're amazing. And thank you for the song as well. I appreciate you so much. And she sent a beautiful card. And wait till you see inside this card. Are you ready? Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? And of course, you know, the butterfly is the symbol of the soul. Thank you, Drew. Thank you with all my heart. And then lovely Noah sent me a copy of his book, Noah Sabuliak, The Winter of My Mind. There we go. And I've been actually reading some of these poems, Noah, and I might include one in one of the live sessions on Insight Timer soon. I really love the Two Hawks poem. I enjoyed that very much. And of course, there's a picture of Salome and John the Baptist on the front. So I'll let you read into that what you like. Great picture, isn't it? You know. And there's a great song called Salome by the Enid from the 1980s. Check that out if you've not heard it. So Noah Sabuliak, really nice poems, actually. Really nice. Smoke rises up into dense mist. I can't say that word. Slopes of Coquihalla gift waters down into valley chalices. Yeah, beautiful. And Bernice, his last one, has sent me a beautiful card as well, which is fantastic. And both Bernice and Noah, they know me so well. Look what Noah sent. Chocolate. All the way from Canada via Ecuador, or all the way from Ecuador rather via Canada. There we go. And then Bernice, look at this. I just went to the post box yesterday, right? One trip to the post box. Chocolate. This one's sweet and salty Canadian. I'm going to be having that with my next coffee. I could share it, but I'm not going to. And Mexican chocolate. So Mexico via Canada as well. What is it with you Canadians and chocolate? Eh? So look at that. I appreciate the book, Noah. I appreciate the cards. I'd like to offer you some, but we haven't sorted the technology out yet where we can pass things through the screen. So I'll just have to enjoy it on all of your behalfs, won't I? Anyway, fantastic. Let's just look in the old comments bin. And I've went through and pulled out 3 comments that caught my attention. Guidita asks me if I'm related to Osho. And she's asking because I put a new single out. Each full moon this month, I'm going to put a new single out just to keep alive all the way through my life. I've made music, kind of more like Brian Eno-y, sort of editing tapes and kind of textural things and ambient-y things and what have you. I'm not a technical person in the kind of technical musician sense. I mean, you know, I know my intervals and things, but I've always just enjoyed making music, and I'll show you my new guitar maybe at some point. And yeah, I decided to finish off a bunch of tracks that I've had sitting around for a long time, so I'm working on those in between because, you know, you've got to do something. Can't just kind of look at screens all the time. And so I've just been kind of finishing stuff up, and Chandra is one of my favourite pieces ever. It's on YouTube in a topic playlist, so I'll put the link for that underneath this video. It's also on Spotify and Tidal and Apple and all that sort of thing. And it's an instrumental piece of music, kind of dream poppy. So if you remember the Cocteau Twins, but if Cocteau Twins had been produced by Eno and Annie Clark, St. Vincent, had played lead guitar instead of Elizabeth Elizabeth Fraser singing vocals. It wouldn't really sound like that, but kind of would, if you see what I mean. But Guidita's asking if I'm related to Osho because he was also called Chandra, which I didn't know that. And no, I'm not a student of Osho, or am I sort of related to him? But I like him. I know because of that Netflix documentary, things are shown in a very bad light there. And I actually have a student who lived with Osho for 12 years and kind of has come to me sort of since then. And he says that everything in that documentary is true, but actually for the ordinary people who were there, further away from it all, because you were seeing like the cult in the cult, as it were, through that documentary. And of course they were pulling out that side of things. And he wasn't at his best, was he? Let's face it, during that time. Then for the people further away from it, who were just there, just living there, literally trying to find their lives and the truth within themselves and so on, it was a beautiful time, actually. And all that openness and things that is talked about, that was there too. And there's good sides to that, and there's obviously negative sides to that, depending on how you met that, But, during my kind of transformative period, the shift from old John to this person who's here with you now, Osho's books, some of Osho's books were tremendous friends to me. So I'm always going to have a deep connection with him. There's one, Love, Freedom and Aloneness. As somebody who writes books and is a literary editor for the Royal Literary Fund, and so on, it could do with an edit. It's in the wrong order. It's 3 talks and they've been placed in the wrong order. So it should be the second and third talks first, and then the first talk at the end. But it's a tremendous book and would help anybody, quite honestly. And then he did a book. They're all talks. He didn't write any books. They're just his talks that have been transcribed and collected. A book called Awareness and another one called Courage. And he did a really tiny book on meditation, really little book, which is just fantastic. Like every human being, he's a mixed bag, and things went a certain way and it all ran away from him. And it did get out of control, and there was a lot of ego there towards the end. But we have to also appreciate what he did bring. I think to myself, because of seeing things like that, I have to be careful in the way that I do my stuff. I never want to build a group like that. I never want to kind of try and push pace. He was trying to change the world faster than it was ready to change. Rather than just simply raising consciousness, it felt like we've got to do this or die sort of thing. And we are in a do or die place on the planet right now. But what can one human being do, to push that along? Only encourage awareness, consciousness, love, real kind of connection with truth and spirit and the sacred within the self. So if I'm related to Osho in any way, it's that intention rather than the intention of trying to push things along, which I would vary with him greatly on that, because people have to come to things in their own time and you can't force anything into existence, quite honestly. Fatima asks underneath the one of the Khalil Gibran poems, she says, I want to narrate a poem too. How can I do that? And I would say you just do it, quite honestly. I've always recorded things, as I say, So since being a teenager, I've always messed around with tape recorders and, nothing flash at all, just very simple setups. And then when I, became a writer and started getting invited onto Radio 4 and things like that to to kind of read things out or to take part in programs and stuff, then I started realizing the power of poetry and readings aloud. So I would just say you just get yourself a decent high quality mic, either a little USB interface or some way of recording into your computer. I mean, right now I have a little just a little professional microphone, little broadcast quality microphone that goes into an adapter which plugs into my iPhone. That's okay quality. You can get professional recording apps for phones. It's okay doing it that way, but you have to kind of learn your way up with that, but you don't want to go too far. I have quite a simple process for my recordings, but I do record through a really high quality kind of audio interface with a very beautiful microphone that I bought not because it was expensive, which it wasn't that expensive. I bought it because when I speak into that mic, it actually sounds like me. It brings out that warm tone in my voice that people seem to respond to. So, and then the other thing I would say is when you do read something out, read it through a few times out loud first, if you want to try this, and don't take your emotion and try and push it through the words. Instead, be in presence, be in your being, and then allow the musicality of the poem to play through you. It's all there already. You just need to practice with it, and it will teach you how your body and your vocal instrument is to sound that poem. If you try applying your thoughts of what you think that poem feels about to it, you kill the poem and you kill yourself. You create a kind of an emotional incarnation of yourself that will harm you, that will create pain body. And you see a lot of that. You see a lot of that with actors who read poems. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? And you're talking to your lover, or even if they go for the lovey route, it's kind of, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? And instead it's being with somebody that you love and saying, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do not shake the darling buds of May. And my darling, though I love you, I cannot remember the next line. So, but you find your own way. Just find your own way, Fatima, okay? And if you do, share. Tag me in. Let me know. Okay? And anybody else, just tag me in. Let me know. Fantastic. And thirdly, Addie from Amsterdam just said that she enjoyed very much meeting at the level of the soul. I think it was the previous video or the one before. I think it was the previous video. And she sends love from Amsterdam, which is interesting because Amsterdam's really on my mind at the minute, or the Netherlands is really on my mind. We're looking to investigate kind of connecting into Europe more, possibly kind of creating a base a little bit. I won't say too much about things because I just don't know. So it's interesting that in the last 3 or 4 days, because I've got a list of places that I kind of, I think, oh, I'll go and have a look there. I don't know why. I'm just being called to have a look there. Amsterdam, The Hague, and other places, not just in the Netherlands, but in other countries too. And so hopefully when we can travel again, I'll come out to Amsterdam and just have a bit of an explore and just see what my heart says, Like I say, I don't know where it's leading at all, but I definitely feel something, which is really, really interesting. So yeah, let's leave it there. I hope you're really well, really happy in your life. Those of you who join me for the Insight Lives on Mondays, there's one more tomorrow. Then I'm taking not tomorrow, Monday coming, and I'm taking a week off. I'm gonna. I've actually got a poem for Valentine's Day mapped out. Not a poem, a meditation for Valentine's Day mapped out. So I'll be recording that tomorrow, and hopefully I can talk to Insight and it will go live on Valentine's Day. That's for all people, not just people in coupliness, you know, but anybody who just wants to be in the true heart of love, quite honestly, which is already within yourself. You know that, don't you? Yeah, we've got Chandra out, of course, my new single. The next piece will come out on the next full moon on the 27th. That will be called Pages. And I just need to finish the mix down for that and get it to the distribution people. And I'm quite near the end of the first version of my book. Not the poetry book, because that one comes out in the springtime sometime, hopefully. I've approved all the typesetting and the cover and everything for the poetry book, so I'm hopeful to let you have a date for that soon. They've not been back in touch. And then the spiritual book for Watkins. Yeah, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I can send it in to them. Then I still need to rewrite it, which will take me, 3 months or so, because there's always rewriting to do and editing down to do. But it's really, for what I can do at this point in time, and as far as language will go, I'm actually, pretty happy with the feel of it. And I hope it's of great service to you. That's why I'm writing it, to, gift it to you, really. And so that I may thrive as a human being. So, that's it. It's a lovely synergistic relationship, isn't it, So, bless you. Thank you for being here with me. We'll do another one of these maybe in about a month's time. I've enjoyed this little format actually, so I think that might work. Just kind of looking in the comments bin, kind of replying to you, being in touch with you. It's fantastic. You naughty, naughty human beings, you. So when the camera goes off, somebody will be nibbling chocolate while he does a bit of work on his book. That's what I'm going to do. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for being with me in all those places. Insight Timer, Wellness Coach on my new, on the website. New changes coming to the website soon as well. I kind of mentioned one kind of in passing. Can't tell you anymore. Look for a 5-year growth. And then of course there'll be more after that, but definitely a kind of a new direction coming, which is fantastic. Same, but fresh approach that makes things much more accessible to you. That's what we're after. Bless you. Namaste.